Alright, Shalom, Shalom Israel. This is Brother Azariah from W5 Jersey, Philly, coming back with another video, giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, Shalom. Alright, Lord willing, each and every brother and sister that's watching this, alright, you know you catching fire with your faith. And if it be in the will of the Lord, you also increasing in your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in these last days. All right. So this video, this is a message to the brothers that's going out there on the highways and hedges, and you doing the work of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. Let me start off with this. All right. We'll kind of deal with that later. All right. This is the book of Sirach 7 and verse 15. All right. And this is very important because you got brothers that'll go out there and do the work, and then they'll wax faint. Alright, so let me get this. This is the book of Sirach 7 and verse 15. The Lord says, hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. So you see, the Lord said not to hate laborer's work. Alright, hey, when you going out there and teaching the word, that's laborer's work. Alright, because, you know, everyone's not the same. Alright, some brothers are different, some camps are different. Alright, but I can speak for this camp. A lot of the camps, they last 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. All right, and we don't got damn sandals on. We're not out there with sandals on and shorts on, and we kind of got sleeveless shirts on. We not out there like that, man. All right, and it's very hot. All right, you may want to dress like that, all right, but hey, we got the pants on. All right, and guess what? It be 90 degrees. This summer was hot. All right, last summer was hot. It is summertime. It gets hot, man. What you gonna do? Stop doing the work because it's summertime? You know, let me go to the beach. All right, it's not time to go to the beach, man. All right, you gotta do the work of the Lord. So hey, it be 90 degrees outside. We got pants on. All right, the brothers got boots on. Whether you got your shiny black boots, you know your army fatigue boots, your brown boots, all right? You know, hey, we be out there, man. And you know, standing 10 hours with boots on, all right, kind of hurts your feet, your back start hurting. Our brothers be at camp then, going like this, kind of trying to stretch, all right? See, that's to show you how laborious it is to go out there and do the work. People look and see us on the camera and say, well, you know, that's easy. Anybody can do that. Well, not really. You got a lot of people that are complainers. All right. It's too hot. It may be 100. If the Shabbat comes and it says it's 100 degrees where we're teaching at, we're going to go and teach in that weather. All right. It doesn't really matter. If we're about to teach and it says, and we get messages on our phone, flood flashes, we still gonna go out there and teach the word. All right, hey, even in the winter time. And I'm gonna tell you, hey, winter is bad, man. It's real laborious in the winter time. I remember we went to damn, I forget. I don't know how I forgot what it's called, man. It was that damn cold. I should remember where it was. All right, but we was kind of out there. All right, it was freezing. Your toes feel like ice blocks. All right, your ears is kind of done. You don't feel your fingers. The brothers that's reading the scriptures, it takes you about 2 minutes to get to the precept. All right, that's laborious work. So you brothers that's going out there, you got to deal with these things. Let me read this one more time. It's the book of Sirach 7 and verse 15. It says, hate not laborer's works, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. So the Lord, he has ordained certain people to go out there and do the work. Let me grab this one precept in the book of Acts. All right. That's why you don't see every brother out there doing the work. All right. Just like you don't see every brother doing construction. Some people can't handle that. All right. It's too laborious for certain men. All right. Just like this work. All right. The Lord has put in a certain men's spirit to go out there and actually labor for the Lord. Whether you're out there 10 hours, 12 hours, 8. If you out there 15, if you just so happen to be out there 15 hours, you got to deal with it, man. All right, this is the book of Acts 9, and I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, and the Lord said unto him, arise, go into the secret slack. And the Lord said unto him, arise, go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul, which is talking about Paul, of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth, and had seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. So just recently, Paul was blinded. Remember, Paul, he was kind of, he thought he was teaching the truth, but he was actually persecuting the truth. All right, and the Lord, he just got done blinding him, and he's trying to get him to come out of that. So now the Lord, Yahushua, is speaking to Ananias, and he's saying, go and heal this man. All right, because he's blind right now, and he's waiting on you. I told him that you were coming. All right, verse 13. Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints at Jerusalem. Because Paul was known for killing people. He was putting men to death. All right, so the saints of the Lord, they were kind of on their toes when they heard Saul or Paul. All right, verse 14. And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So as we just read in Sirach 7:15, he said, hey, it's ordained. All right, you have certain men, they have been chosen vessels. All right, from the beginning of the world, you were made to be this certain vessel. All right, you got different vessels. All right, the cup does one job. You don't eat out of a cup, you drink out of a cup. And then with a plate, you don't drink from a damn plate, man. All right, you eat off of a plate. Just like in this truth, the Lord has certain men, certain vessels, and you're made to go and do the work. Then you got another vessel. All right, you're made to do A, B, C, and D. All right, you're made to do this, you're made to do that. Everyone has a certain job that they must do in this truth. But as we just read, Paul, he was one of the vessels that was chosen to do the work. Now, you brothers and sisters that's out there, you brothers that's out there laboring for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you're not just out there on a random. Are you just randomly just said, no, I'm going to just go do the work? No, the Lord, he stirred up your spirit. And he said, Noah, go out there and do my work, man. All right. This is your job. This is the job you've been made to do. Hey, go and do it. All right. Just like Paul. And the Lord sent Ananias, said, go get my servant, man, and make haste. Hurry up and go do that. All right. Why? Verse 16. It says, for I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So also when we're out there, we know we're not out there playing games. You shouldn't be at camp, you just laughing and you got bouncy houses set up at camp. All right, y'all kind of playing poker and spades at camp. That's not what you out there to do. You out there to suffer for the Lord. All right, if you didn't know that, I'm going to tell you that right now. If you plan on going out there and teaching the word, don't think it's going to be easy. You're going to have demons trying to stir you up. You're going to have demons, they're going to try to stir you up and get you to come out of the spirit. That's a part of suffering. Why? Because you have to kind of calm your flesh down. Now you're at camp. You may have thought it wasn't going to be that hard. You kind of thought it was going to be easy. Then you went out there and then you seen these demons trying to get you to come out of the spirit. All right, and they really want you to tap into your flesh. All right, but then while you out there, you kind of got to fight it. That's suffering. All right, and let me get this real quick. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. All right, let's show you exactly what that means. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 11. I'm going to start at verse 22. All right, it says, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of a Mashiach? I speak as a fool. Because he's kind of boasting of himself. He's kind of showing Jake, all right, you think that this thing is easy. Let me show you what this thing is like. That's what I'm trying to show you right now. For you brothers that's thinking about going out there. You may look, like I just said, you may look at the videos and you think it's just easy. There's a lot of things we don't get on camera. All right. Every camp is not recorded. All right. Certain things make the cut, certain things don't. All right. It is what it is. That's just how the Most High had it. But there's things that we don't record. A lot of times when we don't record, it gets hectic at camp. You got demons coming up and scoffing. Or you got so-called learned men trying to come up against the doctrine. They getting cut up. All right. And again, you're going to have people, they might try to get physical, man. But you got to do your best to stay in the spirit. All right. There's a lot of things that come with going out there and teaching the word. I really can't. It's a long list. I can't go down the list. But Paul, he's about to go through the few things that you will experience when you go out there teach the word. It says, I am more and labors more abundant and stripes above measure, meaning he was beat. All right. It says, in prisons more frequent. You might get arrested for this truth. I remember personally, I was laboring with some brothers in Asbury. Now, this is when the COVID was waxing hot. Our COVID was waxing hot. They didn't really want you outside. They this was when they limited the amount of people that can be in one group or be outside as a group. I believe it was maybe 5 people at a time. First it was like 20. They said, okay, 20 people could be together at one time. Then they lowered it to 10, then to 5. Then it just kept going down from there. So we were out there teaching. It was me, 2 other brothers, and my rib at the time she was recording for us. All right, so we was out there, and it was kind of desolate. As I said, COVID was waxing hot at this moment. This was the heat of COVID. All right, this was the heat. So nobody was really outside. So we teaching, then the cops come. Now they're like, well, you know, the governor says, well, only this amount of people can be out here, and you can't be out here right now. You got to go home. And we kind of stood there, and we was going to keep teaching the word, man. All right, and I was teaching at the time, and I was getting on the cop. Because you know how Esau, when they send these cops to kind of suppress Jake or calm Jake down, it'll be 2 Edomite cops, and then they'll send one of the Jakes to go and talk to you meanwhile the Edomites, they kind of stand in the back and watch and listen. All right, that's what was going on. And I was kind of getting on him and saying, well, you a coon, A, B, C, D, D. All right. Now, they was trying to arrest us, but clearly they couldn't. He was mad at the words that was being said. He was going in the Bible and saying A, B, and C. They wasn't really getting down with that. But it came down to us getting a ticket. Now, I believe this ticket was a federal ticket, and the ticket is still lingering now. So, you see, if you're scared to get a ticket, and a federal ticket at that, all right, don't go out there and teach this word. All right, I'm going to tell you that right now. All right? And more than likely they haven't contacted me about it, but more than likely they may try to use that later on. All right, that's how Esau gets down. All right, they'll try to, you know, they'll bring something up, and then they'll let it sit for a while, and then when the time is right, all right, they'll come and kind of get you, man. Jacob's trouble might pop off. They said, well, they're looking for the Israelites. They might use that as their chance to say, you know what? Hey, Calvin Davis, all right, you know, we've been looking for you. All right, they kind of grab you up. These things can happen to you. And real quick, there was another situation that had took place where I was teaching in Lakewood, my hometown. All right, now, we was out there teaching, and this was, I believe I said this story a few times. All right, but I was teaching, and it was me and another brother, all right, and a sister. Now, this was right after the Jersey Shore shooting took place. All right, if you don't know about that, check that out. That's when they basically made up these false accusations against Hebrew Israelites and tried to make it seem like we were criminals and killers. All right, because this Jake, he went into a store and I believe he killed some Amalekites, whatever. So he's out there teaching, and then Amalek kind of pulled up on us because the town I live in is just nothing but Amalek. So they seen the fringes. We had the microphone out. They knew what was going on. So long story short, it turned into a big thing. Next thing you know, I'm at my job. All right, you got the damn FBI coming to my job, questioning me, and they questioned another brother. Now, that was just the overall, that's what happened. All right? There's more, there's finer details. But I'm just showing you that these are the things, just like Paul was explaining, these are the things that you will encounter out there. You think they just gonna send the FBI for no reason? And not only that, the FBI agent that I did speak to, he says, well, yeah, I've spoken to many Israelites before. So they got certain agents out there for the purpose of questioning the Israelites, man, and trying to make up a false report against us. Just like the Lord has certain vessels out there doing the work of the Lord, the Lord has certain vessels made to try to, made to watch us, keep tabs on us. Because if you don't know, in these last days, you're going to have Esau trying to grab you up, man. All right? And you're going to have to deal with it. You may be thrown into prison. I personally, myself, may be thrown into prison because they're watching. All right? They are watching. So Paul, he already told you. Let me read this again. This is 2 Corinthians 11:23. It says, are they ministers of a Mashiach? I speak as a fool. I am more, and laborers more abundant, and stripes above measures, and prisons more frequent. So he went to prison a couple times, man. That may happen to you when you're going out there. And you can't be scared. When those things was taking place to me personally, when I was experiencing those things, I wasn't scared. I didn't give a damn. I knew that the Lord already spoke of this. That's the spirit you brothers that's out there teaching gotta have. And if you plan on going out there, if you don't got this spirit, then you're not gonna make it out there. All right? You're gonna kind of be devoured up out there. All right? It says, in debts oft of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep, in journeyings often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. So you see, I just read off some of the things that Paul went through. Now he didn't go through all of it. He just gave them a quick summary, as I just gave you a quick summary of some things that have taken place out there. So as we just seen, these are the sufferings that the men of the Lord that goes out there and does the work, these are the things they must go through. All right, these are different things you got to deal with, man. Journeyings often. Are you kind of traveling? All right. You might be in New York this week. You may be in damn Chicago this week, man. All right, you can actually look this up. Google it on your phone or whatever you're using. As Paul just said, it says in journeyings often. This was one of the sufferings he went through. He was traveling a lot. And if you just look up how many miles he traveled on foot, it actually says that Paul, they estimated it, it's like you, Paul traveled around 10,000 miles. All right? He traveled 10,000 miles on his feet. Now, it's also going to tell you that the equivalent of that is traveling between New York and California. And you're doing that trip 4 times. Imagine traveling to New York and then going to California 4 different times straight, just walking. You kind of just walking and walking and walking. Your feet is hurting, man. You're tired. Your flesh, your body is hurting, man. But you see, he did this for Israel's sake. He literally made himself a living sacrifice. Let me get this in the book of Romans. All right, 12 and verse 1. Classic precept right here. All right, this is the book of Romans 12 and verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. So you brothers got to continue to present your body as a living sacrifice. You got to continue to just throw your body out there. Throw your body out there. You have to. Because the men prior to you, they were doing the same thing. Hey, these men, they were willing to die for the sake of Israel. All right? Let me grab this in Philippians 2 and 29. All right, this is the book of Philippians 2. Actually, I'm not even going to get that. Let me get First Maccabees 13 and verse 4. All right, this is the book of First Maccabees 13 and verse 4. It says, by reason, I'll start from the top. This is First Maccabees 13 and 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together, and gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren in my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary. So you see, you go into the past and you see the works that have been recorded, the things that have been written in stone, the things that have been written on the wall that your forefathers used to do for the sake of this work. All right, they did a lot of things just to get this work done. Remember, even you go back to Nehemiah, Ezra, Zerubbabel. All right, they build up, especially Nehemiah, to build up the walls and the temple of the Lord, the house of God. He built it, like it says in Daniel, the 9th chapter, he built it in troublous times. So you had heathen trying to set him up. You had people literally trying to set him up. Just like Eve will set up a Jake, and then the Jake ended up dying. He thought he was about to get a date with this girl, but really, you know, she's kind of walking him into a trap. Nehemiah, he had to deal with that. Also, the people of Israel, you read, hey, they was building with one hand, and the other hand, they kind of had a sword or a weapon in their hand, ready to fight. Imagine that. They could have said, no, what the hell with this? This is too much. But what? They didn't hate laborers' work. They loved it. They said, well, this is for the Lord. Hey, I'm going to build with the right hand, and the other hand, if a heathen try to touch me, the heathen try to stop me, I'm going to put them to death. I'm going to cut them out of the land of the living, man. So just like the brother is saying, hey, you look at the works of your forefathers, all right, and they put in a lot of work for the laws and the sanctuary. I'm going to keep going. The battles also and troubles which we have seen. See that? Just like Paul was speaking about his different troubles. We've seen a lot of different troubles, man. Just look at the captivities we've been in. You think it was easy? They kind of sacrificing swine's flesh on your altar. Imagine someone taking your kid and dashing him against the stones, taking him to a high mountain and just throwing your little baby. You just gave birth to this child. They said, all right, you know what, we're gonna allow you to give birth to your child. Then as soon as you give birth, they kind of reel the baby out and then throw the baby off the damn mountain. And all you hear is the damn baby crying, and all you hear smack, splat, and then your baby's blood is dashed all against the stones, man. We've seen a lot of different perils, all right? But what? Verse 4, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake. See that? Our brethren have been slain for Israel's sake. You got to go out there and do the work of the Lord for Israel's sake, man. Not for you are doing it for yourself as well, but you have to look at the bigger picture. Because some people, they get selfish and say, you know what? You know, my feet hurt when I go out there and stand out there and camp. It's 98 degrees and it feels like 112. I'm not going out there today. Or it's negative 15 outside. You won't see me outside. Well, brother, that ain't nothing, man. Your forefathers have been slain for this word. I just read Paul, he walked 10,000 miles. This brother literally walked from New York to California four times on feet. That's just his travelings on his feet alone, man. You gotta have the same zeal as your forefathers, man. All right, verse 4. I'm gonna read this from the top. It says, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone. Now therefore, be it far from me, that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble. So he said, hey, if anything goes down, I'm not going to kind of run and flee the battle and leave my brothers out there. All right? Because a lot of times, you know, the king or the leader of a certain congregation or an army, when they go out to war, They always have the leaders in the back. So if he's seeing his men being slaughtered before him, he can kind of just leave. All right, he might make it, but then there's like 20,000 casualties. You got 10,000 of them, or 15,000 of them died. 5,000 of them, they legs all jammed up. All right, some of them sick or whatever the case may be. All right, damn ear cut off, eye damn stabbed out. But the king, he could kind of get out of there. The leader, he has a way to get out. That's the same thing with this brother. He could have left. If all hell was breaking loose and he kind of seen that his men was waxing weak and his army was falling in numbers, he could leave. But he said, it's far from me to do that. But what? It says that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble. So he's not doing that. All right, he's not going to spare his own life, all right, in a time of trouble and leave his brothers to die. It says, for I am no better than my brethren. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice. And that's happening now. The heathens, they're gathering round about us to destroy us for very malice. Because the heathens, they hate us. They despise you. Don't ever think for a moment you go out there and Esau, he kind of, how you doing? Or you about to go to work and he's on his lawn, he's spraying the lawn, or he's mowing down the grass. He's, how you doing, Dale? He doesn't really like you. Really, how you doing, nigger? That's what he really wants to say, but he can't. All right? Or he may not. He may choose not to. Because, you know, Esau, he come with smooth and peaceable words. Just like the other nations. All right? They act as if they're your friend, but they really hate you. I know a lot of, I seen Elamites, you know, I'll go and, you know, do business with them, and they kind of, what's going on, brother? All right? They hit you with the brother. That really means nigga or nigger. See that? So the nations, they have came around about and gathered themselves together, all right, for very malice of you, and they want to destroy you. But you got to help our people by going out there and doing the work, calling the sheep back, bidding them to the marriage. Whoever you can find that's out there, like he said in Matthew 22:9, you got to kind of reel them in. All right? He said in Matthew, the 4th chapter, he said, I made you fishers of men. You got to go out there and fish these men out of the water, man. Save them from the troubles that they're in. Then once the elect are all sealed, hey, the Lord's going to bring havoc on this place. We're going to be saved. We're going to be beamed up in the chariots. We're going to see the fall of our enemy. And we're going to also have a hand in the fall of our enemy. But what? It starts by doing the work of the Lord. All right, so let's go back to this real quick in Sirach 7:15. All right, this is the book of Sirach 7:15. Hate not laborers' works. So I can hate not laborers' work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. See that the Most High has ordained this. Who are you to go against that? Hey, you brothers and sisters, stay strong. Continue to go out there. Well, you sisters, if you got a husband or if you got a husband or a house to take care of, take care of your house. If you're a single sister, continue to read the scriptures, increase in faith, and do the works that you can do in this thing. But you brothers that's going out there and laboring for the Lord, man, this thing has been ordained for you. You got to stay strong. You got to endure. All right? You got to cloak yourself with zeal. Let me get this one last precept. All right? It's the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 17, I believe. All right. This is the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 17. It says, for he put on righteousness as a breastplate. And that's the same thing we got to do. Put on righteousness as a breastplate. Us going out there and doing the work, that accounts for some type of righteousness. All right, that's you keeping the law. It says, and in helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. We have to be clad with zeal as a cloak. We got to stay strong, stay fervent, be diligent, stay consistent. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. A Kwam Yashala.